Welcome to the Global African Senate, a Senate chamber where we shall be adjudicating global African affairs that will educate and renew the minds of Africans. In today's House session, members, we shall be discussing how the Western nations planned to destroy Africa based on current and historic facts. First, I would like to recall to us that on November the 15th, 1884, the Portuguese instigated Otto von Bismarck, the German Chancellor at the time, to convene a meeting involving the European nations and the United States of America. In response to the Portuguese request, von Bismarck scheduled a conference in Berlin, Germany. The Berlin Conference, which was held between the 15th of November 1884 to February the 26th, 1885, involved 14 Western nations. France, Germany, Great Britain, and Portugal were the main players in this plan to negotiate questions and end the confusion over the control of Africa. Bismarck appreciated the opportunity to expand German sphere of influence over Africa and desired to force German's rivals to struggle with one another for territories. Members, at the time of the conference, 80% of Africans remained under traditional and local control, what ultimately resulted to geometric boundaries and divided Africa into 50 irregular countries. This new map of the continent was superimposed over the 1,000 indigenous cultures and regions of Africa. The new countries divided coherent groups of people and merged disparate groups who did not get along. House members, I humbly submit to us that after the meeting in Berlin, the Europeans plotted Africa against one another. The 14 countries were represented by ambassadors who, when the conference opened in Berlin, the countries represented at the time included Austria-Hungary, Belgium, Denmark, France, Germany, Great Britain, Italy, the Netherlands, Portugal, Russia, Spain, Sweden and Norway, Turkey, and the United States of America. Of these 14 nations, France, Germany, Great Britain, and Portugal were the major players in the conference, controlling most of the colonial Africa at the time. The initial task of the conference was to agree that the Congo River and Niger River mouth and basins would be considered neutral and open to trade. Despite its neutrality, part of the Congo Basin became a personal kingdom for King Leopold II of Belgium, and under his rule, over half of the region's population died. House members, note that King Leopold II of Belgium killed over 10 million Congolese. At the time of the conference, only the coastal areas of Africa were colonized by the Europeans. At the Berlin Conference, the Europeans, colonial nations, scrambled to gain control over the interior as well as the natural resources of the continent. The 3-month conference disregarded the cultural and linguistic boundaries already established by the indigenous African population. By 1914, the conference participants had fully divided Africa among themselves into 50 countries. Great Britain desired a Cape to Cairo collection of colonies and almost succeeded, though their control of Egypt, Sudan, Anglo-Egyptian Sudan, Uganda, Kenya, British East Africa, South Africa, and Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Botswana, Rhodesia at the time, the British also controlled Nigeria and Ghana, the Gold Coast. France, on its part, took much of the Western Africa, from Mauritania and Gabon and the Republic of Congo, French Equatorial Africa. Belgium and King Leopold controlled the Democratic Republic of Congo, Belgian Congo. Portugal took Mozambique in the east and Angola in the west. Italy holding Somalia, Italian Somaliland, and the portion of Ethiopia. Germany took Namibia, German South West Africa, and Tanzania, German East Africa. Spain claimed the smallest territories, Equatorial Guinea, Royal Money. Members, we can now alert ourselves to understand how the Western nations planned to enslave, explore, and destroy Africa. Africa may have been free from slavery, but mental captivity is a new form of enslavement in the neo-colonial era. House members, we can attest to the fact that a typical African uses the Europeans as their reference points of influence. For instance, I have often heard Africans say, "I play soccer like a white man. I do farm like a white man." This is because, right from the outset, the Westerners made our ancestors to understand that they are not fully human unless they act or do things like the Westerners. This is when the Westerners started imposing their languages, beliefs, and their names on Africans. This is how they planned to destroy Africa. Members, we invite you to subscribe to the Global African Senate and share our videos.